What the hell are musicals?
So I wanted to share my experience about going to see Dear Evan Hansen on tour in Des Moines, Iowa on February 5th. So this is kind of just so I can remember it in the future and also maybe to help people decide whether or not they want to see it. So a little background, I have really been in love with this musical, I would say for about 2 years when it started kind of getting popular because, I'm not that cool. But it really means a lot to me as a teenager who relates a lot to Evan and struggles with mental health issues. So I would say, if you are someone who has struggled with anxiety or depression, or you know someone who's close to you who does, I would say this is a good musical to see. However, I do kind of want to have a little trigger warning for this musical because it does deal with suicide and mental health issues and family issues, and it is really, really heavy. Even though I think most people agree that it has an uplifting message, it is really, really freaking depressing. And I had an amazing opportunity to do a very shortened version of this musical for Iowa High School Speech Association in my senior year of high school, and I just shortened it down to about 8 minutes, and I could choose one song to perform. I chose Words Fail, which is arguably, in my opinion, one of the most sad songs, but again, I could relate to it a lot. I'll have that linked in the description if you're interested, but it's on my channel. I think I kind of want to do a new version, an updated version, because it's been about a year since I did that, and I've done a short film in between that time, and I feel like now that I've seen it, I could redo it. But with that aside, so like just to kind of prove that I did see it, I have playbills from it. I found some extra playbills. But yeah, here's like cast. That was a cast. Yeah. And then in my journal, I put my ticket. My section was 6W, row DD, seat 16, and I feel like I had a pretty good view. I couldn't make out like exact facial features all the time, probably because I also have really poor eyesight, but overall it was a good seat. It cost about $100, so kind of a pricey ticket, but compared to like $300 or $400 for the closer up seats, I would recommend this area. I think it was a good deal for what you got. Obviously, it's a really popular musical, so tickets are going to be a little bit more expensive. But kind of getting into my favorite parts. My favorite part in the musical, which I have seen bootlegs of it because I'm wonderful, but I didn't really ever notice this detail. And like I follow like Tumblr blogs about musical theater and whatnot, and for whatever reason, I just never knew about this detail. But it's my favorite part of the whole musical, and it kills me every time. Like now that I listen to the song again, and You Will Be Found, which is an kind of anti-suicide song, kind of talking about there's always someone you can reach out to, and you're not alone. And overall, one of the best songs in the musical. And also just phenomenal to see it performed live. It's so emotional. It's the last song of the first act before the intermission, and the character Larry, who is Connor's father, who Connor sadly commits suicide pretty on in the musical, but basically Larry has had some issues with not feeling close to his son and not really mourning his son, and also Zoe has some issues with that. Articulated by her in Requiem, which is my favorite song in the whole musical. But he breaks down in about the middle of the song, and it's so hard to describe. It's giving me shivers just to think about it, but he just starts crying when he sees these pictures of his son up on the screen. It is seriously like the most beautiful moment in the whole musical, in my opinion. It touches me so much. And another part of the musical that I really enjoyed in the first act was Requiem. For some reason, I had always thought Zoe was holding Connor's suicide note, so the Dear Evan Hansen, today's gonna be a good day, and here's why. that note that Evan wrote to himself in the first scene, I always thought she was holding that, but she was actually holding emails, which makes more sense with Cynthia's line, "In these words I finally find you," because it is more canonly Connor's words. I mean, it is canonly supposed to be Connor's words, you know, fake emails. If you know nothing about this musical, you're probably pretty confused. But so that song is really powerful. But when Zoe is standing up, I believe by the couch, I think that's where they are in that scene. The scene. Oh, one thing about this musical that's so great is all of the sets are like on these circular pieces of wood, and they move out in and out of the stage so beautifully, and it's something that's so well done. The set is amazing, simple but amazing. But she's holding you know, some printouts of the emails, and she, like, when she's singing that really powerful part in Requiem, I'm not going to try to sing it now because your boy can't sing very well. She like kind of like crumples them up, and she's like, "I'll sing no Requiem tonight," or whatnot. And as the song's winding down, God, this scene is just so amazing. She sits down on the couch, and she kind of like unfolds them a little bit, uncrumples them, and she's like, "I will sing no Requiem tonight." I think she's the last person to sing that line in that song. That is some good shit right there. And then I'd say my top three scenes. My third favorite little nitpicky part is just probably the entirety of Words Fail. Like, I mean, just amazing. I forgot how much of like a conversation that kind of is in a way between Evan and the Murphys, and yeah, that's just really amazing. And I was sitting next to my mom. This is kind of personal, but I was sitting next to my mom, and during
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich, Chef Ramsay.
Be fine. So Big, So Small. That was just like a really nice bonding moment between us. Like, if you go to see this with your kid or your parent, honestly, like, even if you don't have divorced parents or single parent, that scene is just really, really sweet if you go see it with your kid or parent. So those are just kind of my thoughts. This video is now kind of getting a little bit longer than I usually make them. I might make a follow-up video, but I couldn't recommend this musical enough, honestly. Also, Ben L. Ross, I've been following him on Instagram for a long time. He was amazing. He was phenomenal. I looked up how old he was because I'm like, damn, this kid, like, how old is he? He's only 2 years older than me, and it's like, fuck, I couldn't imagine doing that when I was in 2 years. Also, him and Taylor Trench, who used to play Evan on Broadway, are dating. They're like the cutest thing ever. But yeah, I had a couple friends who saw them on tour before they came to Iowa, and they're like, he can sing. Like, if you look at him, I'm not trying to body shame or judge or anything, but he's a really small guy, but he can belt. He has a beautiful voice, and I would say if this musical is coming to your city or sitting near you, definitely go to it. Again, kind of a little trigger warning, it is sensitive material. Don't bring, I'd say, a kid under 12, but it's really powerful. I was so familiar with this beforehand that I didn't get emotional during it, but it's been a few days, I think like 4 days, 5 days when this goes up, since I've seen it, and I don't know, I've just been like thinking about it a lot and kind of like emotional. So yeah, it just made me think about a lot of things. So yeah, I hope someone stuck around to the end of this video. Probably not, but I just kind of wanted to talk aloud and maybe connect with someone else who is obsessed with this musical. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe for more musical theater rants that no one wants to hear.